G'day everyone, Rach here from Book Piles. Welcome to another video. This week on the books I am looking forward to being published over the next 12 months. That won't be the title, it's a bit clunky. Hello to new subscribers and g'day to those returning. I hope you've all had a good reading week. Yes, okay. Apologise for the flushed complexion. I have a very short amount of time, one day a week, where it is quiet in the house because all the noise is on the other side of that wall. So I had to run some errands and get back and get this done, and there wasn't time to sit down and wait for the flush to go. So we are just going to crack on, and hopefully it will just disappear and I won't fog up. So I have done a little bit of research, but my research has been kiboshed a little bit by Amazon making changes. To be fair, I will say before I start my spiel, I have not checked this on my laptop, so I don't know if it's a tablet only thing. I generally use my iPad more than I use my laptop at the moment. But once upon a time, you used to be able to go into whatever category of book you were looking for. And in the top, it'll be over there as you're looking at the screen. For me, it's over here. There used to be a drop-down menu just above the listings that had like bestsellers, maybe A to Z or whatever, but one of the choices was publication date, and you could click on that and it would give you all the books that had been loaded into the system for publication from that point, if you like, and it would take loads of pages before you were in the current month or the next few on from you, but you got to see all the books that were coming. That feature on my iPad has disappeared. So I have relied heavily on Instagram people who somehow know all these books are coming out, and I have managed to compile a list. Some are ones that I was already aware of, and others are new to me discoveries. So, like I say, I haven't checked the laptop to see if it's gone completely or if it's just the way the website loads on an iPad. But yeah, because I used to use that quite a lot to find books that were coming. Anyway, so I have gone through from August through to July next year, and I think there are about 3 months where I don't have anything. So I'm just going to crack on. I have made notes, which I'm going to refer to, because even though I wrote this in the last day, it doesn't mean it has stayed in my brain. So, starting in August, on the 13th, we have a book called, and there should be covers coming up in this space, except for maybe one. From my memory, there is only one that hasn't had a cover reveal yet, so that one won't have a cover, it'll just be a blank space. So yeah, covers will go here. So 13th of August, there is a book called The Morning After Marriage by Kelly Kay. It's the third book of a 5-book series, and it's definitely hasn't been on my radar, but this definitely caught my eye. So it's apparently a couple who have an encounter. I don't know how far that encounter goes, judging from the blurb. I'm just going to take my book off the table so I'm not bumping the camera. Yeah, I don't know from the blurb how far that encounter goes. But anyway, they part company and then they reconnect at a mutual friend's wedding in Vegas and have a very drunken weekend together, which culminates in a marriage. So having just read a book with that premise of, in that case it was two enemies who got drunk and got married in Vegas, this caught my eye. So I'm thinking that a drunken Vegas wedding trope is something I like. So that's The Morning After Marriage, Kelly Kay. On the 18th of August, we've got Cult from Jessica Peterson. So I've read, in fact, it's the bottom books on that pile there. I've read the Lucky River Ranch series. So this is the next flow on from that, if you like. It centres around the brothers of the heroine of book 5 of the Lucky River Ranch. So it's Colt, it's book 1 of the W Ranch series. When I went to check the listing to make sure that the dates that I had versus what was on Amazon are correct, it did say it was one of 3. But if you've read Ryder, you know that she's got something like 5 or 6 brothers. So I don't know if it's just that we'll slowly get more books as she writes them, or if it really is only a 3-book series. I don't know. So, and it's an enemies to lovers. Colt, who is the hero, is the manager of the ranch, if you like, and his father brings in a branding consultant to see if they need to update their ways. And she's a city girl, and they butt heads. It's billed as an enemies to lovers. Perfect for me because, as if you know, it's my favourite trope. So then on the 25th of August, we've got Experiments in Offline Dating by Kate Mackenzie. And as far as I'm aware, this is a standalone. This sounds intriguing. I've never read anything by Kate Mackenzie that I'm aware of. A podcaster goes to Ireland to meet a matchmaker. Now, I don't know if it's whether it's part of her podcast or if it's for her. I can't quite remember because I didn't write that down. She's put on a series of dates, which are all apparently hilariously disastrous. And then she goes to a festival, a matchmaking festival, where she wins a blind date with a grumpy farmer. So, yeah, the tropes were listed on the Amazon blurb as enemies to lovers, forced proximity, grumpy hero, and Ireland. Perfect. Okay, moving into September. I've got 2 books that are kind of the same like this. The other one I think is not due till later in the year. So on the 8th, there is a book called The 12 Loves of Christmas. Loves or lovers? Loves, must be. The 12 Loves of Christmas. And it's by 12 different authors. I didn't write all the authors down because I didn't. Basically, it's a short story collection, and each chapter or story by the 12 authors is sealed, and you're meant to open up a chapter in the 12 days leading up to Christmas, like an advent calendar. And there is another book, the similar, which I've got the information for. You'll find out. On the 10th of September, there is a book called Make It a Double by Amber Palmer, and it's book 2 of 2 in the Pinecrest Ridge series. Again, not even aware of book 1. So this is a small town bartender versus a wealthy billionaire. She's the bartender, he's the billionaire. But apparently they have a one-night stand and get pregnant. Now, again, if you know me enough, that's not a trope I like, but I was intrigued by the bartender-billionaire dynamic. So how did that happen in the first place, and how is it going to play out? So, yeah, so that sounded intriguing to me. All of these books that are second, third, fourth in a series, I will probably look at the first, the previous books. Whether I'll actually get them or not is yet to be determined, but I will do a bit of investigating to find out if you need to read the series in order or whether you can just read them as standalones and they're just interconnected with the same, background people. 15th of September is Grim Tidings by B.K. Borison, which I find hilarious that I'm looking forward to a paranormal book, but I did read Good Spirits and I thoroughly loved it. So, and there is a glimpse in that book of the chaos around what this Grim Tidings is going to be about. And I'm thinking when it comes time for me to read Grim Tidings, because this is a definite buy. The others are all I'd like to get, but we'll see what the budget is and what else is going on, and do I need things for her kid and stuff like that. This is a definite buy, Grim Tidings. So prior to reading that, I will actually go back and read the section in Good Spirits where all hell breaks loose around this story. So she is the Grim Reaper, but apparently she's had enough of death, and he is an angel. And so she's basically decided that rather than unaliving her intended, she's got to save them. That's about all I know. It says enemies to lovers and grumpy times grumpy. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, even though I'm not becoming a paranormal reader unless B.K. Borison writes it. That's probably what I'm going to say. Okay, moving on into October. On the 6th of October, there is a book by Lauren Blakely called Mistletoe All the Way. And this is a grump and a Christmas fan team up in a holiday competition, which is called a Mr. Holiday competition. So it sounds like he's trying to save his farm, she's trying to land the job of her dreams, and somehow she convinces him to go into this competition, and stuff will ensue, I guess. But yeah, the Mr. Holiday competition caught my eye. On the 13th of October, it looks like there is another Amazon short story series called Snow, This Is Love. And it's got 6 authors, as they usually do, including, I did write down, Christina Lauren and Julie Murphy. And it's reimagined Disney tales as contemporary romances with a sprinkle of Christmas. And I actually need, so it's interesting because I think we've now got 2 already. I don't know if there's another one on the list. I need an anthology for her kids, so I had already earmarked one, but with these 2 that are coming out, there's no reason why I couldn't read a Christmas anthology if I pull that out of the mug. And then the other book doesn't have to be a Christmas book by the author. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wrote these ones down. On the 20th of October is Christmas Staycation by Megan Quinn. And it's the 3rd book of 3 in the How My Neighbour Stole Christmas series. I've read that first book of the same title. I haven't read book 2, but I've got it. And I will most likely get book 3. I quite enjoy reading Megan Quinn books. And what have we got here? The heroine has agreed to a fake wedding with her ex, except her ex's brother, who is our hero, sees right through this and thinks she deserves better, which is him. So I don't know how that's going to play out. Into November. So this book on the 3rd of November is the other Advent type book. It's called The 12 Dates of Christmas by Ruby Winter. It's a full-length novel, but with 24 chapters, which are all sealed. So again, you open up a chapter each day and read it in the run up to Christmas. And it's between, I think it said, a jaded New Yorker and a Christmas-loving Brit. I'm not sure that there was much else after that because it's sealed. So that sounds intriguing. Also in November, I did mean to look at this. On the 10th of November, there is a book called Orlando by Harry Whittaker, who, if you know, is Lucinda Riley's son. And all the books on this shelf here, finger there, behind these piles, are all Lucinda Riley's. The listing does not say much about the story, but it says that the 7 sisters make appearances, and I'm trying to remember, I'm sure there was an Orlando in a book, and I want to say it's the 3rd book, and I meant to flick through, but I didn't. So And I guess nearer the time we'll get a bit more blurb about it, but it's on my radar. It's probably another definite buy. Right, moving into December. This is the 1st of December. It's called In Every Future It's Us by Katie Namon. So it sounds like it's a romance story told through past and present timelines. And it seems like the lead couple make predictions for the other at New Year's Eve, and then whoever gets the closest the following New Year, it says, did I write down what it happens? No, I'm sure the blurb said something along the lines as whoever gets the closest with their predictions gets to choose a life event for the other person. Not sure. But obviously something goes wrong and now they've got to come back together again. So it sounded interesting. On the 8th of December there is a book called Bedside Manner by Stephanie Archer. And this is billed as an enemies to lovers escort romance. And it seems like the Doctor is the grumpy hero who becomes her first client, and I guess as a result of that he then puts her on a retainer to be her only client. What I can't figure out from the blurb is if she knows him already, and is she also working in the hospital and takes on this escort role or not? I'm not 100% certain. The blurb didn't explain that enough for me, so I'm curious. Okay, moving into 2027. I don't have any releases for January because I couldn't make this feature work on Amazon. I'm sure there are releases on the radar for January, but I couldn't find any. In February, I have one book, which is Long Time Listener, which is the third book in the Heartstrings series by B.K. Borison. And this is billed as a You've Got Mail inspired rom-com. So I'm guessing we're going to have some some email correspondence, which is good, versus maybe the hero and heroine antagonizing each other somehow in real life. I mean, that's essentially what You Got Mail is. So I'm looking forward to that. I've read First Time Caller, but I have not read And Now Back to You. I'm spacing them out, but also, if you've watched my Her Kid video, B.K. Borison is the backlist author I'm doing as part of that prompt. So this book, Long Time Listener, is also a definite buy. In March, so that's the only book I have for February at the moment. In March, I have one book, I think. Oh no, I have two books. So Cardinal Rule from Liz Tom Ford. So this one does not have a cover yet, so there is nothing to go here. The information said it's the first book of 4 of the Wilder Woods series, and it again, there was very little information on the Amazon page at the moment, but it did say 4 new athletes, 3 new teams, set in Northern California, featuring the Wilder family. So yeah, I would say that's definitely on my radar again as well, because Liz Tom Ford is also part of my Her Kid challenge. On the 9th of March is Just One More Chapter by Lucy Score, which is the third book in the Story Lake series. Again, there is nothing, I think, no blurbs yet or anything for that. But it is, I'm pretty sure his name is Levi. I will correct it, I'll check before I start editing. I'm sure his name is Levi, and he's an aspiring author, which I guess makes sense with the name of the book, Just One More Chapter. In April, there is one book on my radar, called Enemies to Lawyers by Letitia Lorini. And it's an enemies to lovers, I guess. Two lawyers team up together to fight, to work together on a lawsuit which is being run. The terminology. I should read what I wrote. A lawyer has to team up with a workplace rival to take on an ex in a class action lawsuit. The ex is the opposing counsel. So, yeah, anything enemies to lovery, that sort of thing always is on my radar anyway. And then also in April on the 13th, Wish You Were Not Here by Lauren Asher. And this sounds like it. What it sounded like to me is actually the Christina Lauren Unhoneymooners book. It's a second chance romance between two exes that have to go on a non-refundable honeymoon. I'm not sure whose honeymoon it is, but when I read that, it made me think of Unhoneymooners, which is one of my favourite books. So it says it did list some tropes. One moment. So close to the end of the video, the phone rang. Okay, so I was talking about Wish You Were Not Here by Lauren Asher. So yeah, shades of Unhoneymooners could be interesting. And that actually is the last book I have. There is nothing I can find for... Oh no, it's not, is it? No, I tell a lie. I don't have anything for May. So June of 2027 is Unrivaled, which is Rachel Reed, and it's book 7 of the Game Changers series. Book 7 of 7. And I believe it is another story centered on Shane and Ilya. What I did not do is read the blurb, because I haven't read book 6 yet. It's the next one I have to read, and that is also Shane and Ilya, so I didn't want any spoilers from the blurb. But I think what I'm going to do with that will be a definite buy, and I'm probably going to reread Heated Rivalry, then read, it's called The Long Game, yeah. Reread Heated Rivalry, read The Long Game, and then read Unrivaled close together, because I'm finding that some of these series that I've got to spread out, I am forgetting people. And then, as I mentioned in my series video, on the 17th of June is The Apple Pie Ice Cream Parlour by Laurie Gilmore. And that's book 7 in the Dream Harbour series. Interestingly enough, actually there are two interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure it did not say book 7 of 7. Like, I'm wondering if Dream Harbour is just going to be one of those things that keeps being added to. I don't know. The other thing that I noticed on the listing is that it's only 120 pages, so it looks like it's a short. And it's centered around a summer festival with the tropes, friends to lovers, forced proximity, and he falls first. So yeah, I mean, and that will be on my radio as well. Radio, no, oh boy, we should have stopped while we were winning. And I don't have any books yet for July of next year. So there's certainly enough to look at, and of that list, there's quite a few that I will be purchasing. And obviously, as the year goes on, we will learn more about what's coming up next year. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed having a little look, see if there was anything there that might go onto your radar. Is there anything you're looking forward to? Drop those in the comments below, and I will catch you again in another video very soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.